Hey YouTube, Terry here from Introverted Games. In our last video, we painted our neat little character here, the hero of our little game we're building together. Now in this video, we have a lot of work to do. We need to make a sprite sheet, we need to import that into Unity, make a project, make animations. Gosh, we have a lot to do. So let's just get cracking, I guess. Now, the word sprite sheet sounds like a curse word almost. For a lot of people, it's a dirty word. It's crazy. They don't quite understand it. But all it is an image with all of our body parts spread out in it. Now, you remember in the last video, we did everything as a separate body part. The torso, the arm. So essentially, we already have a sprite sheet. We just have to move things around. So I'm going to do that. Remove the head right here. Alright, we'll move the eyes, put the body right there. That'll work. What you want to do is just leave enough space so that when you cut these images in Unity, you don't pick up another part of the image. You know what I mean? You need a good solid border and space between any other sprite. So something like this should work quite well, and I think that's what we're going to use. We can turn off the background, and there we go. We pretty much have the sprite sheet for our hero. Now what you do is you go File, and we're going to export as, and we're going to do a PNG, and I'm just going to call it a sprite sheet. Sprite sheet. There we go. And I'm going to put that in pictures. That'll work fine. Bam. I said bam. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to we're going to save this. Actually, no. We're not going to save it because we move things around. So we will just discard changes. Now we need to make a new project in Unity. I'm sure you've done this, gosh, a million times. But if you haven't, I will walk you through it yet again. Project number 577, Bob. Alright. Now we're going to make a 2D project. Never mind all of these. We're going to go new project. And we're going to do Unity 6. I guess that'll work. Everybody's using it. It's all the rage. Yeah, whatever. And we're going to do a local. And we're going to call this action game. We'll think of a name later. I'm not so great at that part of it. Alright, and we will create. Boom! It takes just a moment. I might fast forward this for you. I might not.
5 hours later.
Okay, YouTube, with the power of editing, ta-da! We have our project up and running. So beautiful. Now, the first step we're going to do is delete some of this stuff that we don't need. Tutorial info, yada yada. We will keep the default input system actions and the settings because I think the settings, yeah, that's fine for now. We're going to rename sample scene to testing. Okay. Then we're going to make a few folders here. We need a folder for scripts. Okay. We probably need a folder for prefabs. We're always going to need more folders, guys, but these are just the few that I make at the start. Now, I like to call my next folder art, just because it's art. Now, what we're going to do is bring that sprite sheet into Unity that we just made, and I believe we saved it in the pictures folder. We sure did. There it is. We'll drag it into art. Now, there's a couple things that we have to do. When you first bring an image into Unity, it's not usable. Uh, you need to change it to a Sprite 2D UI. Also, because we're going to be doing multiple, we need to set this to multiple. I might need to clean this up. You can see some pixels around the hair. We'll have to play that by ear. Okay, I like to do no filter, and that's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to say apply. There we go. That looks much better. These lines on the right hand side, those were unintentional, and you won't even see them once we do the sprite editor. It looks here. This is actually a good thing, so you can see how to do this. We do not have the 2D sprite package installed, so you would not be able to use the sprite editor and slice this up. So let's do that together. We'll click on install 2D sprite package. All right. And Unity is famous for its wait, hurry and wait. You know? This is a perfect time to get a drink of coffee. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez, that was fast. We'll click on Open Sprite Editor. Oh, and it opened on my other monitor. We'll bring it over here. Now, just for you, I'll make it larger. And we need to cut these up into individual sprites so we can use them. It's called slicing. We can try automatic. Let's try that. And that did fairly well. And then I want to go through and adjust some of them. So say this one here, I'm going to bring that down. Oh, I want to bring the whole thing down. There we go, kind of like that. And let's be honest, I would rather the whole eyes be one. So we'll delete that and we'll make this larger. There we go. Alright. And what we're doing here, guys, is we're just defining the sprites that we're going to use for our character. Okay, this here we're going to make a little bit smaller, just like that. Same with the torso. We're going to shrink both sides in. Okay. The head, that's pretty decent. Let's go a little bit bigger so we don't cut the hair off. And let's just scooch it up there to the edge. Okay. This is pretty tolerable. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. However, the pivot points, those do have to be changed. And it looks like these are empty little sprites. Let's get rid of those. This right here, we're not going to need that one. Let's get rid of that. So, right now, if you look, this is the pivot point for your sprite. It's directly in the center of the head. So, when you try and animate, you know, my head, I pivot on my neck, you know, more down towards the chin. I don't pivot on my forehead or where my eyes are, right? So let's go ahead and move the pivot point down here. The same with the torso. My body doesn't pivot right here, right? It pivots more down on my waist, right? So let's move this pivot point down to our character's waist. The arm, of course, you're going to want to pivot more up towards the shoulder and the socket. And the leg, you're going to want to pivot more up towards the hip, right? As far as the eyes go, dead center is pretty okay. There's not going to be a lot of movement on that, right? Now, these look pretty good. I'm going to hit apply, and then we're going to close this tab. Okay. Now, if you look here, we have a whole bunch of body parts. So we're going to drag the whole thing. Actually, we're not going to do that. I totally lied to you. I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to drag each individual part in. For some reason, I'm not in 2D. There we go. That was a little bit concerning. I think I made a 2D project. I'm not going to worry about it because it'll work regardless. Okay. I hope. It should. We'll go to camera. What are you? Yeah, you're on perspective. We'll put you on orthographic. That makes you 2D. It's totally fine, guys. That'll work. All right, and we brought in these two. Let's bring in the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. Now, we're going to name these because later on it's going to make a huge difference. So we're going to call this head. Okay, this one here is the torso. We'll call it body. Okay, and then this is the arm. We're going to call it left arm. And then we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to flip the X. Perfect. And we'll call that one the right arm. Okay. Then, much the same with the leg. We're going to call this left leg. Oh, I told you to capitalize. Learn to type. Okay. We're going to duplicate this and call this one right leg, and we're going to flip the X. There we go. And the eyes, these are the eyes. We're going to name that eyes. Now, as it stands, with all these loose body parts sprawled around, they're not of much use to us, right? We have to make a rig, a skeleton of sorts, that we can use to animate, to move the player around. We have all the building blocks, the Lego pieces, but now we need to actually assemble this guy into a working character. So what we're going to do is create an empty game object, and we're going to call this player. We're going to do a little bit of forward thinking, and we're going to put it on the player tag, and we're also going to make a layer for player. There we go. And we're going to assign it the player layer. The other body parts can be assigned later. Now, where is this? It is good. It's right about in the middle of all of our stuff. Now we're going to child all of our body parts, not the global volume, all of our body parts under the player. Perfect. That way, if we move the player object, you see the whole shebang moves, and it's just how it should be, and it's perfect. All right, now let's kind of get everything lined up where it goes. The eyes go kind of like that. I think that's pretty good. No, that's not good at all. Let's zoom in here and really position it there. And then I think, yeah, I think that's how it goes. Down just a tiny bit more. Kind of like that. Yes, that will work. Zoom back out. That was crazy. Alright, then let's go ahead and parent the eyes under the head. I hope that makes sense to you. So when we move the head, the eyes move. Okay? Yeah. Durr. Then we're going to move the body over here. Okay. Now when you do this, your body might be showing on top of your head, etc. I'm going to show you how to work the layers out in just a moment so everything fits and looks the way it should. Now I'm going to put the head under the body, and the arms, see, here's a prime example. the arms are overlapping the body, and that's totally fine for right now. We're just going to kind of get things sort of where they go. That's not where they're going to go, just sort of. Let's put the arms under the body, but the legs we're not going to put under the body. So, oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? I did. Left leg, right leg. What have I done? There it is. Boom. There we go. Okay. Both arms are under the body. The legs are just under player. There we go. Okay. Now let's move the legs over. Okay. And the other leg. Boom. That looks so goofy right now. Okay. Now, if you go to the individual body parts, on each body part there's a sprite renderer. And we have the sorting layer. We'll leave it on default for now. That's totally fine. But the order in the layer, that's the important part. So the eyes we're going to put on 3. The head we're going to put on 2. Okay, you see how immediately the arms drop behind the head? Yes. Now, the body, we're going to put on 1. Okay, and both of the legs and the arms are all going to be on 0, and they already are. So now if you look, everything is kind of under and over where it should be. Now we need to move everything a little better, position it so it's just a little more like our drawing was, right? These need to be more up here for the shoulders. I may even need to twist them a little. You just got to play with it some. This is very much your preference, how you want things to look. And I think that's good enough for the girls I go with. Let's move that up a little bit. Move this up a little bit. Yes, yes. Boy, he's a stocky fella. You know? Okay. Now, we need to add an animator component. Alright. So we're going to go animator. Boom. Okay. Then, but wait, there's more. We're going to open the proper window, which is animation animator, right? No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Window animation. Oh, it opened over on another monitor. Let's do this. Stop it, kitty. Come here. You gotta stop playing with stuff. Kitty cam. You might hear some stuff, and it's this guy. It's this little rascal. He's always playing with stuff. Ouch! You go play. Okay. Crisis averted. Alright. Pardon me, guys. My videos are not the best yet, but I am trying. Okay. Now what we're going to do is click on the player, and we need to make a new animation controller. So in the scenes here, we're going to go create folder, and let's just call it animations. Okay. And in here, we're going to do a new controller. Animator controller. And we're going to call this player controller. There we go. We're going to go to player. And we're going to assign it. Huzzah. Now we can make animations. So we're going to click here on create. And we're going to point it to the animations folder, I hope. There it is, animations. And we're going to call it idle. All right. You guys following along so far? This can all be a little bit confusing. Let me know in the comments if you need more explanation on anything. I'd be happy to make more videos and help you guys. So, all right. The first thing you have to do is hit record. Right? Pretty obvious, pretty easy. This is not too hard. I'm going to walk you guys through it. Go to about 10 milliseconds, and we're going to move the body up just a little bit. Now, because we've hit the record button, record, that's a funny word. Because we've hit that button, anything we do will be recorded. Now, it's important that you don't move the actual player game object. You want to just move the body parts inside of the player, and that's just, it's hard to explain why, but it's important. You don't want your player bouncing all over the place. Okay, now we're going to grab the body, and remember, because we've nested things inside of the body, everything we nested is also going to move when we move the body. Now at about 10 milliseconds, we're going to move the body up, right? Yes, up a little bit. And then at 20 milliseconds, we're going to move the body back down, right? No, at 20 milliseconds, we're going to copy the first frames and paste them here. Now, I'm going to show you why. This is a common mistake people make when they're making animations, and they don't continuously copy and paste the starting frames to the end, and you'll get something like this. See how it's all jerky? It doesn't look so great, right? So the solution is always to copy the first frames, Control C. We're going to go 20 out and paste it in. Now when you hit play, see how it looks a lot better? It's more fluid. It's much better, right? Okay. We may slow these down because I made these animations for a smaller character, but I'll show you how to do that. It's not a problem. Okay, that's the first step for the idle. And then what we're going to do is called overlapping action. Now I'm going to, gosh, it's hard to explain to you what it is. Maybe I'll pop a definition up on screen. That depends if I've learned video editing or not yet. I'm not that great at this, guys. And in saying that, if you hit the like and the subscribe button, that really encourages me to keep making these videos. It's still difficult. I'm not good at this. Okay, thanks, guys. All right, now what we're going to do is overlapping action. So we're going to go to about 5 milliseconds, and we're going to lower the head a little bit. Okay? Just the head, not the body. And we're going to lower it just a little bit. All right, and then we're going to go to about 15 milliseconds, and we're going to raise the head up until it feels maybe a little bit stretched. All right, and then as always, we're going to copy these first frames, and we're going to paste them out here. All right, then we hit preview. And yeah, I kind of like that. That's nice. That's pretty good. Now what we want to do is right here at 5 seconds, we want to scale the head just a little bit so it's a little bit squishy. That's good. That's good. And then at 10, we kind of want to stretch it out. Oh, just the tiniest bit. There we go. Kind of a very subtle thing. Nothing fancy. Come on, kitty. You're in my way. Bit too much squish, isn't it? Let's reduce that just a little bit. Very easy to do. We'll head over here. We do give it a whole lot here. Let's do like 1 instead of 3. And then right here, when we scale it up, we'll have to change the 375 back to 1. And then we'll do this at like 1. And we'll see how that works. Yeah. That's much better for me. That looks a lot better. That looks really good, actually. Okay, now what we're going to do is get the arms involved in the animation. Gotta have arms. You gotta have some motion where you can get it. So we're going to stop the playback. We're thinking the middle of the animation. We're going to try raising both the arms up a little bit. And you know, I could be wrong. Okay, I think this is how we're going to do it. And then we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it at the end. There we go. Yes, yes, that is good, but it's too much arm movement. It's like he's trying to fly. I'm flying. Okay. So, the left arm, let's put it down like a lot. And the same with the right arm. Okay. Let's try that. Yeah, that's a lot better. That is a lot better. But we're gonna go and make it just ever so much less. We'll do that. You just gotta feel it. You gotta work it. Yes, that's good enough for me. I can deal with that, guys. Now, when you make animations, I hope that you take the time to make much better animations. Okay, I'm just making a quick game with you guys, showing you how to do it, and it's on you to make the next masterpiece. Now, to me, this is kind of a bigger fella, right? And the animation seems to be a bit too fast. So I am going to highlight every frame and I'm going to drag this out to 25. Let's try that. Oh, yeah. That's so much better. Now he's just kind of a, mellow breathing dude, man. I dig it. I dig it. That is, I think we can call that done for the idle animation. I am pretty happy with that one. So we're going to stop the record. Yeah, stop that there playback. And we're going to create a new clip. Now, I thought we had a folder. We do. And we're going to call this one, Run. I think we only need 2 animations for this game. Run and idle. So we're going to save. Perfecto. Okay, now this animation, first things first, guys, hit the record button. I have actually sat here and made entire animations without pressing record. Yeah, dummy. Don't do what I do, man. Okay, learn from my mistakes. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is grab the left leg at the very beginning of this animation, and we're going to move that bugger up. That's great. Okay, then I think we're probably going to go to about 10. Yeah, about 10. And here it is. And we're going to lower that leg back down. Just kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. And then we're going to select the right leg and we are going to raise it up. Okay? Then we're going to grab the first frames. Control C. We're going to head out here to 20 milliseconds and we're going to paste it down. Now, when you hit play, a lot of people will actually use this as their run animation, but I want to show you something that you may not have noticed. Okay, as you're going along and you hit about 5 milliseconds, look at that, both my feet are in the air. Okay, and then again at 15, both my feet are in the air again. So this dude's magic, man. He's like hovering and stuff. We can't have that, right? That guy defies gravity. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first keyframe of the right leg, okay, and we're going to copy that, and we're going to go to about 8 milliseconds, and we're going to paste that. And then here at 10, we're going to take the first keyframe for the left leg. We're going to copy that, and we're going to paste that at about 18. Now when we play the animation, it's perfect. We always have one foot on the ground. After this, we can do some squashing of the head and we can do some rotating of the body and maybe a little movement of the arms. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, so I think that I'm going to squash the head a little bit at 15. Not very much, just a little bit. Very subtle, very, very subtle. We want this one. If we take it out, we're going to change it over here to just 1. Okay, and then we're going to go to 15, and we're going to do kind of the same deal because you're down again, right? Yeah. So, well, yeah. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very subtle head squishy squishy. I like that. Okay. Now, what I totally forgot to do is move the body. Um, yeah. Let's see. Down at 5, back up at 10, down at 15. Let's try that. Stop this. We're going to go body right here, down at 5. Just a little bit. Tiny bit. Just like that. Oh, that's probably too much. Okay. Then at 10, we're going to go up a tiny bit. And then at 15, we're going to go back down a tiny bit. There we go. We're going to copy this. Paste it on the end. I'm going to try this one out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. It's just super fast. Okay. Now what we're going to do is at the very beginning here, we are going to rotate the body a little bit to the left, kind of like that. At 10, we're going to rotate back to the center and then over to the right. And then, of course, we're going to copy the frames and paste them here. Let's try that out. Oh, yeah, that's looking great, guys. That's looking really good. Now, I think that maybe the arms should be involved just a wee bit, but not too much, right? We want to be kind of subtle. So at the very beginning here, we're going to tilt the left arm up, kind of just a little bit. We'll go in the middle and we'll tilt it back down. Okay, and we'll take the right arm, tilt it up, and of course we'll copy the frames to the end. We'll try that. I don't see a whole lot of arm movement. Perhaps we want to increase that a little bit. So we'll go back to the beginning here, and the left arm will tilt it up more, right? 10 down. The right arm, we'll exaggerate that a little bit. Okay, and then we'll end it like normal. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. That gives you kind of a walk. That's a good walk animation for me. And as I said, guys, I'm just making animations to show you how to do it. If this was a game I was going to publish, like professionally, I would probably spend a lot of time really fine-tuning these animations. And hopefully you will. Hopefully you'll make a beautiful game. I'm just trying to show you how. All right, perfect. So now we have the walk and the run animation all set up here in Unity. The next step is going to be to make weapons and make them move around and shoot stuff. All the fun stuff is coming soon. I appreciate you guys. I hope you learned something and have a wonderful day.